Good morning, you guys. So, getting up, getting ready for church. So, I'm getting ready to take my shower. I just wanted to show you guys how funny I am. So, I like to have my earbuds in while I while I shower. I listen to my motivational speakers, or I listen to just music or whatever. So, I put these little plastic things on my ear. Yeah, I bought these a while back from Shein, and I thought I was buying uh, hair things, those little shower caps. I thought I was buying shower caps, and when I pulled them out, I was like this. I was like, "Oh, they got me. Okay, how did I get this size? What is this for?" Didn't know what they were for. Read the package, tried to figure out what they were for. Didn't know. Thought it was some kind of error, and then it occurred to me, maybe it's for people who don't like water in their ears when they're getting their hair shampooed or whatever. But anyway, I'm using them because I have my earbuds in, and I'm about to take my shower, get ready for church. I'm ready for church. I'm ready for church. So we'll do our get ready with me chit chat in a minute. And hold on, guys. About to hop in the shower real quick. Okay, y'all. So I'm showered up and teeth brushed, everything. So we're gonna get started. So I wanted to show you guys my baby pink press-on nails, the ones I got from Shein. So what I did, guys, is I put them on, which everyone knows how to put on press-ons, obviously. So again, if you don't know, you just kind of file your natural nails. Give your natural nails a little filing because you want to take off the oils and shine and anything that's on them. And then you want to take a cuticle pusher, push back your cuticles, and then you're going to take your file or electric drill and you kind of like lightly go inside the press-on nail just because it adheres better when it has a scratchy surface. And if your nail is scratchy and then the press-on is scratchy in the inside, it gives it a nice thing to adhere to, and it stays on longer until you're ready to take them off. And again, I use the Macart glue, and I just glue them on. After I size them, every nail I have them laid out, and then I just put them on, guys. Hold them down 10 or 15 seconds each nail. Try not to put too much glue, because just because you put a whole bunch of glue doesn't mean it's going to stay on good, because sometimes it could be the total opposite. Trust me, I know. So anyway, you put the glue on and you just press them down. And then what I do is I take some builder gel and I go over the top like one layer, because builder gel is really, really thick. Go over the top with some builder gel and I cure that for 60 seconds. And then I take my Macart top coat, and I go over each nail, and then I cure that for 60 seconds and I'm done. And if you want to do some extra shaping or whatever, you can, shaping the sides or whatever, lightly shaping them because, they're already pre-polished and everything. So I really love this baby pink. I really do. So anyway, moving on. So I'm just going to start doing my makeup. So this morning, you guys, I was thinking, I was like, what is the difference between self-care and self-love? And I was like bogging my mind, and I started to go on YouTube and see if there were other videos about it, which I'm quite sure it is. But I started to go on YouTube and look and see if there were other videos talking about it and everything, just to get an idea. But then I was like, I don't want it to sway how I feel or, encourage me to say something that's on their video. So I was just going to go from how they say, go from the dome. I was going to go from the dome and express what I think self-care is. So I think, number one, self-care. Self-care is taking care of the inside as well as the outside. Self-care could mean, obviously it means to most people taking care of your outer appearance, your outer exterior, and things like that. And it also means, I don't know, just getting more in tune with yourself, and knowing, what you want out of life. So this is what happens when you're doing a video and someone walks in, then you kind of forget where you left off and you don't want to go back and start over. So here we go, guys. I am going to finish talking what I was talking about. So we was talking about the difference between self-care and self-love. And I was saying that self-care is more kind of like, in my opinion, taking care of your outer exterior, you know, how you present to the world. But you also don't want to present anything false. So you have to take care of your inside as well. You have to take care of your mental as well. You have to start working on those things that, what do we say, trigger you, or working on your triggers, or understanding your triggers, understanding why they're triggers, understanding where the triggers are coming from, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is making you think in such a way about triggering, being triggered, and things like that. So it's just kind of like working on yourself, working on, you know, getting to know you, because we could be 50, 60 years old and not even know ourselves, you know. So a lot of times it's just time to take some time to yourself, get into a quiet space, write, journal, talk to the Lord, and ask him to reveal yourself to you and show you you, you know, show you who you are and what you need to work on, and where your strengths and your weaknesses are, and things like that. And when you know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, you just to try to attack each thing one at a time. That's all you can do. And so that's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, Lord, you know, what is it that I need to work on? What is it that, you know, will help me throughout my journey? Because it's a journey, y'all. We're never going to stop learning. We're never going to stop growing. Every day is a new experience. Every day is a new challenge. Every day is not easy. Some days are harder than others. And you just, you know, take the time to give yourself a break, you know. Just don't be so hard on yourself, which is something that I used to do. I was so hard on myself. There was a lot of times where I would be just extremely hard on myself if I wasn't catching on to something fast enough, if something wasn't making sense to me, but it seemed like everybody else was understanding, you know, what this particular thing might be, or what it is. You know, when someone else is understanding something and can articulate, you know, what it is, and you're still having a hard time understanding what exactly it is, and why is it so hard for you to, you know, move in a certain way. But I don't know. What I can simply say is just continue to give yourself grace, give yourself a break. Understand that this life is a journey, and that you're going to have to, you know, just be kind to yourself. Because a lot of times people don't understand that we beat ourselves up worse than anyone ever could. You know what I'm saying? We see our flaws, we know what they are, you know, like when you gain weight. I have mirrors. I know. I know that I gain weight. I don't need you to tell me. I know that I gain weight. You know, but some people find it, you know, find a way to bring out your flaws and things that are wrong with you. And sometimes it's hard to process that, because you've already beat yourself up and you've already felt like you may have lost control somewhere, which is what caused you to gain weight in the first place. Because a lot of times we overeat or whatever because, you know, it might be something that's, you know, triggering an emotion that wants you to lean towards the comfort of food, or whatever the case may be. So anyway, what I was just saying is self-care, in my opinion, is just taking care of your whole being, and doing a deep dive into yourself, and really just trying to understand yourself. And when you understand yourself and your confidence is there, then you're gonna present well. You're gonna present well. You're going to present yourself as someone that's confident. You're going to present yourself as someone who understands who I am. So there's nothing that you can say that can penetrate me, because I already understand me and I already know me. And I think my biggest thing with people is them telling me how I feel. You know, don't try to psychoanalyze me, and I won't try to psychoanalyze you. You know, I'm here. I can tell you exactly how I feel. So you don't have to figure it out, and you don't have to think you know, because I'm here. I can tell you how I feel. I can tell you how I feel. So, you know, a lot of times I just hate when people get their opinion of you and they run with it, not even really knowing the backstory or anything about you. And nobody knows you like you. You know, your parents can sometimes say, I know you better than you know yourself. Really? Do you? Do you? You think so, huh? Yeah, I highly doubt that you know me better than me, you know. So I think I used to have a hard time with people who always thought that they could try to psychoanalyze me. You know, just don't do it. It's just not a good thing to do. So anyway, so you guys, I decided to go ahead and open my new pencil for my eyebrow. So I still have the small one, but I wanted to go ahead and just, open my new one. So yeah, people that try to psychoanalyze you and try to tell you how you feel, they kind of that if you want to annoy me, that's kind of really annoying to me because you don't know me better than I know myself. And so, who are you to try to tell me who I am? You know what I mean? So, just try to continue to do a deep dive into yourself. And that could mean journaling. That could mean, opening up a Word document and just typing, and just talking to yourself or whatever. It can mean so many different things. It can mean, going to talk to somebody if that's what you want to do. But this is supposed to be self-care, you know. No, I mean self-care, yeah. So this is supposed to be self-care, and if it's self-care, that kind of means that you're taking time to yourself to, you know, try and understand you. And if you can't find it with yourself, by yourself, then yeah, maybe it is time to talk to somebody. I tried counseling, guys. I really did. I tried going to a therapist, and I had never done therapy before. And at first, I thought I liked it. I really did. But then I started to feel like this is not working for me. I don't know if I just didn't connect with the therapist. I don't know what it was, but it just wasn't working for me. And I just didn't get much out of it. I wanted to be able to express myself, but I think once you sit down and once you actually start talking to the person, I was feeling a little lost, and I was feeling like I was forcing interaction with this person instead of being natural and just, kind of expressing how I really feel about things. I felt like I spent more time, you know, trying to think of subjects, and because it's almost like the therapist was giving me the floor to say what I wanted to say. And I guess I had seen therapy on television, and I thought they asked you more questions and things like that. But what this therapist did was just basically allowing me a free space to talk. And I felt like I was all over the place. I was jumping from subject to subject, and I just felt like I was all over the place. Ooh, my eyebrows is looking like cousins this morning, y'all. We can't be having cousins in these streets. So I'm trying to fix it with my concealer because I'm still getting used to looking straight at my phone while I'm doing this. So anyway, yeah, me and the therapist didn't connect. Y'all, I was talking to the therapist one time. I looked up and they was yawning, y'all. And that kind of like did it for me. I was like, oh, so not only am I all over the place, but I'm boring this therapist to the point where they're yawning. So I was just like, you know what? Let me get up out of here. And I think I might have went one or two more times after that, and then I just stopped going. And guess what I started doing, y'all? I just started talking to the Lord. I started talking to the Lord. I started telling him about my troubles, my problems, my issues. And I just started talking to him. And I started, revealing things that he already knows, obviously, but he wants us to come to him and tell him things and, express how we feel about things and what's troubling us. And that's basically what I started doing. I had never had conversations with God to the point because I think for me, I thought praying was so, how do you say, mechanical. Like I wasn't realizing that God is just going to have the relationship with me that I've always wanted. someone that I can talk to about anything, someone I can tell all my problems to and won't be judged, someone that will give me correction but won't hurt me with the correction or, humiliate me with the correction. Just somebody that I could talk to and guide me. And I just felt the Lord's guidance. And I spent a lot of time by myself. A lot of time by myself. Even though I was in the situation that I was in, I always found time to be alone. I always found time to, find time to myself. Even if I was in the car on the way to work, that's where it started. It started in the car on my way to work, just talking to the Lord and telling him, how I was feeling about certain things. And, as a result, it just became easier day by day. It became easier. And then I just was feeling like, people would always say, guys, the Lord is the best friend you will ever have. And, you can talk to him and things like that. And I'm telling you guys, it's the truth, you know. And I'm not saying that therapy doesn't work for people. Maybe I just didn't connect with my therapist, but I just ended up talking to the Lord. And to me, that worked better for me than talking to somebody that doesn't know anything about me and, didn't create me, is what I'm trying to say. He didn't create me at all. So how could he know, or how could they know how to help me navigate what I'm dealing with when I don't even know what I'm trying to deal with and when I'm trying to navigate myself? And I think that's what it was. I think I had this excuse me, y'all. I had this notion that, therapy was just going to be one way, and it was total opposite. I might have to come out of this robe, y'all. I'm getting a little hot. Hold on. This is much better. Hope you guys aren't offended by me being in my towel, but yes, it was too hot, y'all. Too hot. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. It was easier for me to talk to the Lord than to talk to a counselor. And I'm not saying that I'll never go to therapy and I'll never try to, get professional help if I feel that's what's needed. But I think that I'm okay. I think I'm good. There's so many inspirational videos that help me deal and navigate those spaces that I just didn't think I could navigate on my own. And there was just so many, it was just a wealth of information out there that helped me to get myself back on the track that I needed to be on. And I just know that with anything I could do anything with God. And so I just started, you have to really believe that you can do anything. You can do all things with God. You can. You absolutely 100% can. And, it'll be easier for you to talk to the Lord and tell him everything. Then that's my experience now, y'all. That's my experience. And I'm not, like I said, some people love therapy. I have friends that love therapy, and maybe their therapist was different than mine. And so I would try it again. And I think the next time I would try, if I ever were to try therapy again, I definitely think I would want a woman, maybe a Black woman. I don't know. Because this therapist was a man and he was of a different race, but it was a time when therapy was hard. A therapist was hard to find. It was right after the pandemic, and a lot of them weren't seeing people in their office. So this person offered to let me come into their office. So I just jumped at the chance and thought, okay, good. I could actually go into the office and I could have a personal visit with them. And so I met with them maybe 6 or 7 times. And each time I left, I just didn't feel anything. I felt, I ain't gonna say empty, but I just didn't feel like anything was helping, because I felt so all over the place, and because his method was more of letting me talk and him just listen, and then he'll chime in at the end or whatever. But I didn't really care for that. Talk to me. Tell me something. I don't know how therapy works, so I guess my expectation was just different. So anyway, once you figure out those personal things about yourself that you need to work on, then you work on those things. And that's part of your self care. Self care is not, to me, just getting your nails done, getting your face done, getting your eyebrows done, having a pedicure. Those are the superficial things of self care, in my opinion. Self care is more like deeper for me. It's deeper for me, like really taking time out to get to know myself and getting to know who I am as a woman. Those are more things that are valuable to me than just going and getting my nails done. Those things make you feel good, and they do help you and make you feel like you're doing something positive, for yourself and everything. So yeah, I could totally get it, you know. But for me, it was a little deeper than that. At this stage in my life, it was just a little bit more deeper than just going to get a pedicure and going to get my nails done and nails and toes and probably getting your eyebrows arched or whatever. It was a little deeper for me than that. So, anyhow, that's kind of where I was with it. Now, today, you guys, I gotta do this because I'm having a hard time just looking directly into this camera, and I'm making mistakes, but that's okay. Because even though I am a perfectionist, making mistakes is part of life, and that's how you learn, that's how you grow. And I'm probably going to find a better way to do this. But for now, I'm just getting ready for church. So, you guys, I'm going to take these lashes that I got from Shein. This was on my last order. And for some reason, I don't think I have to cut these. So, I should be able to get these on pretty quickly. I should get these on pretty quickly without all the extras. And I tried to have all of my stuff laid out so that I can get through this pretty fast. But anyway, yeah, self-care for me is just doing a deep dive into yourself and getting to know who you are as a woman, as a man, or whatever. And knowing your likes, your dislikes, your triggers, whatever. If you are triggered by anything, figure out what those triggers are, where they come from, why you're triggered in the first place. And just go from there. That's all you can do, is just go from there. Try to figure why you're triggered, what's triggering you. Don't run from your triggers. Try to figure them out. Try to figure out what it is that's causing you to be triggered in the first place. So that's what I've been doing. Because, once we find a word to use, we kind of run with it. I'm triggered. You're triggering me, but let's try to figure out why we're triggered, why we have these issues. Oh my goodness, this is so hard, y'all. This is hard this morning. I'm trying, and they keep sticking to my tweezers, Lord. So I'm trying to do this on camera, y'all. Y'all have seen me put my lashes on a million times. And these are like very natural lashes, so they're not really no real drastic lashes or anything like that. I have to look in the other mirror sometimes. So anyway, I think it'll be best that I grab my handheld mirror and do this. So excuse me, y'all. But putting on the second lash. I'm going to use my handheld mirror for the second lash, because I am no makeup guru. I'm just a girl putting on her lashes and getting ready for church. That is who I am. And once I figure out a better way to do this, you guys, I'm going to be able to get through this relatively quickly. Now, self-love. Self-love to me is what it is, love of self. But you can't, I think when you're doing the self-care, the self-love is just going to come easy. It's going to come pretty easy. The self-love will come easy. Once you're doing the work with your self-care, the self-love will come easy because you'll have a better understanding of yourself. You'll know who you are more as a woman or as a, as a man or whatever. And I think they both go hand in hand. So because I feel like they both go hand in hand, um, doing self love, having self love is definitely going to help you in the long run. So you guys, I have to fix this side of my eye because my eyeliner, I tried to put this eyeliner on just looking straight in my camera, and that just wasn't a good look. So the side of my eye doesn't look right to me, so I want to try to fix it. So anyway, yeah, I just feel like when you do the self-care, that does mean that you love yourself, because you're taking time out to get to know you. You're taking time out to understand you, and so that's a beautiful thing. And in the process of doing that, the self-love is going to definitely come. The self-love is going to come. So I'm going to use my NC45 matte concealer to go under my eyes for a little highlight. And this morning I'm going to show you guys how I used to bake. So this morning I didn't do any eyeshadow and all that stuff. I just wanted to show you guys how I bake. So I'm going to do that relatively quickly. So that's what I feel, you guys. No real big definition or anything or explanation. Just once you do the self-care and all that, and you do the deep dive into you and who you are and who you're trying to become, and you know where you're headed, the self-love and the self-care go hand in hand. That's how I feel. That's really how I truly feel. So just continue to, do your self-care routine, whatever that means to you. Everybody's self-care routine is going to be different, Mine is not going to look like yours. Yours is not going to look like mine. And some people might deem, self-care and self-love as two different things. And in my opinion, they might be right. I'm not saying anybody has a wrong answer. Nobody has a wrong answer, because it's self. Remember, that's the first thing that's in front of the word. It's self-care, self-love. So it's love of self, and what that looks like to you is going to be different than what it looks like to me, because some people do just deem, oh, I went to go get my nails done today. I did this, I did that. I went and got some coffee. I went and got me an ice cream. I went and did this. I went and did that. And that to them is what they call, self-care, self-love, whatever. So as you're spending time with yourself, and we have to spend time with ourselves. Life can get heavy sometimes. So I'm about to do this loose powder, my airspun powder. It looks like this. And so I'm going to take a sponge. And I got this bag of sponges from Shein, of course, my favorite place these days. And I just basically stick the outside of my sponge, and I kind of just go like this, guys. That's all I do. Go like this under my eye, take the end of my sponge, and I just kind of go like that. And then I just go under my eye. And you can bring it down as much as you want. You can get into wherever you put the concealer. And then I just basically let that sit while I do other stuff. Let that sit for a few minutes. And that's basically my face, y'all. Nothing major. That's basically my face and how I used to bake. And so what I would do is just let that sit on my face for a little while. And then I would just take my brush and basically just, repositioning my towel, y'all. Don't want to have no blooper with the towel. So anyway, I'm going to take my powder, my face powder. Take my face powder. And I'm going to go back into, I'm going to get this off and take the powder off with this. So you just take your brush and you just kind of take that powder off, And you don't have to bake for a long time, but if you want to, you can. And like I said, some people bake with other places on their face. I don't. I just basically do my under eye. That's where my focus is. That's where my fine lines are. That's where my dark spots are and everything. So, yeah. So, you guys, I'm going to put my blush on, put my clothes on, put my wig on, because I'm going to put my wig on today. And then I'm going to put my accessories and stuff on, and I'll come back and show you guys my final look, okay? So right now, I just finished putting my powder on. So I'm going to put my raisin blush on. I've been reaching for my raisin because it's just so convenient, and it's right there, and it's quick. I still love my Shein blush, though. And again, I was seeing this girl putting her blush on her nose and on her forehead. I don't know what that's about, but it gives you, like, I guess, another kind of look, I guess. So I like it. So I did that. And then remember I was telling you guys I found my highlighter. This is a beauty supply highlighter, but I love the color. So I just use this, take my brush, and I just go on the tip of my nose. I'm just going to go on the tip of my nose just to give a little highlight. Maybe a little bit on the bridge and on my forehead. So I'm mixing that in with the blush that I put on my bridge of my nose and my forehead. Like I said, I saw somebody do this and I thought it was cute. And I'm just going over the top of my cheeks. Going over the top of my cheeks really quickly. Okay, I don't know how much time I got, you guys, so I'm trying to speed it up. And I'll just take my setting spray from e.l.f. This was $10. And I just spray my face. My grandson just walked up in here. So today, you guys, I got my wig on. I got my necklace that I just got from Shein. I got my bracelets on. And this is the ring I just got. And of course, I'm wearing my birthstone every day. And to try to match my necklace, I'm just going to wear these little ball earrings. You probably won't even be able to see them through my hair, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's just what I do. So I'm putting these on. And I'm going to show you guys my shirt too. My shirt says, God is so good. Oh, I like that. That looks cute. So again, just accessorizing, working with what I have. Got the cute accessories going. And it just makes me feel so put together. So this is my earrings, guys. And this is my beaded necklace, my silver necklace from Shein that I just got. I really like it. So now I'm just going to do my lip real fast. And here's my shirt. Y'all can see it says, God is so, and it has all these O's, so good. So just, that's what I love about my church is I can, you can dress down. You don't have to dress. You can be comfortable. And I got these shoes on that I got from Amazon, guys. You can wear them as house shoes or you can wear them as shoes. No judgment. But I'm going to show you. They're so cute. But I'm trying to wonder if I could even wear them because I have something on my foot that was bothering me. So anyway, let me show them to you real quick. I got these shoes from Amazon and they're like some little fur shoes. And you can wear them outside, obviously, or you can wear them as a house shoe around the house if you want. But they're so cute. So I'm just going to wear these today. And I have on some bell-bottom pants, so it's like not a whole lot of the shoe is exposed or showing. So I just wanted to be stylish. So now I'm just going to do my lip real quick. And we're out the door. So today I'm using big surprise, right? I thought I picked up Yash, but I picked up Folio. So anyway, I'm just going to use Folio today, y'all. I'm just going to do my pencil. Hear my daughter blowing her nose on my video, y'all. I'm sorry. This house is just this house. I live in a lived-in house. Sorry about the background noise. You might hear my grandson in his element making weird noises. The rudeness is on it. The rudeness in this house be on 10 sometimes. But I wouldn't replace them for the world. I've been using this color. It actually matches my shirt really well too, guys. I don't really know what you say about what color this shirt is. I just saw this shirt and I saw the pink and I was like, oh my goodness, I like that shirt so much. Love it. Y'all, I am going to figure this out because I'm trying to do it on look in my phone and do it. But when I'm looking in my bathroom mirror, you're like, girl, you are off your target. You're not on your target. So anyway, I don't know. Should I make it shiny or should I keep it like this? I think I'm just gonna keep it like this. I'm not gonna make it shiny today. I'm not in the mood for shine. So anyway, here's my look. Love you guys. I'll take a few pictures so you can see my entire look. Okay. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope you make it to church today. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. And have a good one. Love you guys. Bye.